Hello, Akhil. How you doing, man? Cool. We are live. Whoa. What the hell? Jeez. Okay. I messed everything up there. There we go. Okay. Drag Alphas, how you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. I'm just going to wait for a few people to tune in and then I will start. I'm going to do 2 tier lists. I'm going to do a tier list on the best AD carries in lower elo to improve at the roll with. And then I'm going to do a tier list on the best AD carries to climb with in lower elo. Because there's definitely a big difference between the two, in my opinion. Let me just put a bit of text here. I'm currently trying to be a Draven main. Draven's very interesting. I'm definitely going to talk about Draven today on this stream. Hey, Kate. Cool. I think there's a website you can make tier list on. There is, but you have to make like an account on the website. I'm not really feeling that too much, you know. Anyway, right. I'll start getting into it a bit. So I'm gonna be having like champ discussions before I go through each champion, and then I'll just put them in the list basically about why I think they're good or bad to improve at the game. So the big difference between champs that you play to improve and champs that you play to climb is that there's certain champs that you can learn a few things on and just repeat, and you'll win most of your games, but you're not necessarily improving at the game. So you can do things like that sometimes on champs like Anivia, on Zyra, and to some extent on some AD carries. So this list is going to be the ADCs that you'll play to improve, especially in lower elo. Alright, so let's begin. So I guess I'll start with Ashe. So Ashe, in my opinion, is one of the best AD carries to improve at the game by playing and I'll tell you why. I'm going to put Ashe in S tier. Just make it a bit smaller. There we go. Right, so Ashe is going to be S tier because the fact that Ashe doesn't have much self-peel. She has her slow, but she doesn't have any dashes, right? So the whole point is, because Ashe doesn't have any dashes or much mobility, you're forced to understand how to play around with her range and stuff really well. So the more you play Ashe, if you're really trying to improve, you'll learn auto spacing pretty well, and you'll learn positioning much better than other AD carries, because while at higher levels, people will use something like a Vayne dash to bait abilities and things like that. In lower elos, most of the time, people use these abilities pretty much to get out of trouble that they put themselves in, right? And not accomplish necessarily that much. It's things that could be avoided. But if you play champs like Ashe, you'll get used to you'll get used to just playing around with the champion with ranged auto attacks, and you have to position right, otherwise you're going to get jumped on. So that is why I recommend Ashe. BRB becoming an Ashe OTP. Yeah. Anyway, Team Challenger. Well, this is not the climbing tier list, but in the long run, I think Ashe will help you climb better than one of the climbing ones. Okay. So let's go with. I'm just going to go in alphabetical order, I guess. So I'll go with Caitlyn. Now, add a title and paint above the tier list. I don't really know how to do that, to be honest, without deleting the image. Can you not see what the tier list is for? Is there not the title here? There's a title above the tier list right now, isn't there? I mean, I guess I could put this here and do like that. It's a bit scuffed, but it works. Yeah, I'll do it like that. I think that's the best I can do. Okay. So Caitlyn. I'm putting Caitlyn at B tier for a few reasons. Although you can learn some very valuable things with Caitlyn, like you can learn like micro mechanics. She's one of the only AD carries that has this like really intense micro that you can always get better at. Challenger players, LCS players, there's still things to improve mechanically with Caitlyn, because every trap can be used as an auto cancel. You can EW auto Q, you can EQ auto, you can R flash, you can E flash, you can EW flash. There's so many things you can do with Caitlyn. The disadvantage of Caitlyn is most of the things that you learn with Caitlyn are not applicable when playing other AD carries. Like, a lot of the things you learn with Caitlyn are very specific to Caitlyn, and you won't really be able to apply it to other champs that well. So that's why she's in B tier. If you really commit to learning Caitlyn, you can learn some mechanics and stuff, and you can really sharpen your game overall. And if you can get over that hurdle, then you can play other stuff really well. But yeah, as I said, doesn't apply to most AD carries. Hey Akhil, how you doing, man? Hope you're having a good day. So we're going to go on to Draven now. Now Draven is really interesting because there's a lot of valuable things you learn with Draven, but he goes in B tier for exactly the same reason as Caitlyn, because you learn very valuable things with Draven, like aggression, when to all in. He doesn't have that much peel, so you have to learn your damage very well. But because of how unique he is as a champion, with his axe catching mechanics and his cash in, and his very high damage early game, what you learn with Draven, once again, is not very applicable to other AD carries. So if you want to put the time into Draven and just play Draven, it's extremely useful. Learning him will teach you valuable things about the game, but because he's so different, I wouldn't put him higher than B tier for improving the game. Right. Let's go for... Let's go for Twitch. Okay. So Twitch. Twitch, once again, a very unique AD carry, but when you're playing him AD carry, I would put him lower than the others even. And the reason for that is he has the same downsides that Draven and Caitlyn have, except you don't learn that much in lane from him because you can only play lane in very few ways, and you pretty much most of the time just have to be surviving lane. And then a lot of the time people sort of hit a wall with Twitch and they learn up to a certain point and they stop improving because they just realize, well, even if I don't engage at all in anything for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, when I hit 2-3 items, there's a really good chance I win the game. So for improving at the game, Twitch is going pretty low for that because his playstyle doesn't apply to helping other AD carries, helping you get better at other AD carries. It's very unique, and on top of that, his laning phase is very sort of dull. You have to play it very back. Okay, let's go for Kai'Sa. Now Kai'Sa is actually, for me, S tier for improving at the game, because although she does have sort of some self-peel, some mobility with her E, she teaches you about pretty much every aspect of the game that you need to know about, right? So she teaches you trading. There's specific trade patterns you want to do with Kai'Sa. To do that, you have to do your auto spacing well in lane. She has okay wave shove, but not too good. So you have to learn the right way to manipulate the minion waves. She mostly just relies on classic sort of kiting. And on top of that, one thing that's really valuable is that her ult, you have to learn, in learning how to use her ult correctly, you're also learning how to use any engaging ADC ability as well. Because there's a very fine line, sorry about that, there's a very fine line between a good engage with Kai'Sa and a bad one. So yeah. What about that guy I used to know who played Twitch and Gold, the Mastiak? Well, I don't know where he is nowadays, but yeah. Okay. And let's go for Lucian. Okay. So Lucian for me goes in A tier for improving, because Lucian is like the king AD carry for teaching you about proper trading and how to get ahead in laning phase. I don't think there's any better AD carry for it. Although Draven can teach you how to get ahead, Draven has like innate strengths that just make him so much stronger than other AD carries with very simple trades. But with Lucian, you have to execute the trades well for it to work out. So you have to learn his combos, you have to learn when to use his combos, how to use his dash properly, how to use actives, because you're going to buy Blade of the Ruined King almost every game. Extremely useful. But you have to have the right mindset to try and learn him. You can't just dash in every opportunity. With every AD carry, if you want to improve, you have to have the right mindset, but especially him. And the reason he can't go in S tier is because he's not as different from other AD carries as Caitlyn and Draven, but he still is a bit more than Ashe and Kai'Sa, and not everything with Lucian is applicable to other AD carries. So yeah. Alright. So Sivir is going to go in C tier. Or B tier. It's quite hard actually. Let me think for a second actually about this one. Okay, Sivir's going to go in B tier. I'm putting Simba in B tier because although she does have, in some sense, a get out of jail free card with her wave clear, for real beginners, the fact that she has such good wave clear can allow people to pick up understanding of wave management faster. For higher up players, it can be used as a get out of jail free card. So you need to make sure you're not using it as a crutch, and you're more using it as to push your understanding of wave control and be able to use wave manipulation every laning phase to do well. And Spell Shield is quite useful as well. So yeah, right now, B tier. Potentially when she's a bit worse in the meta, she could be A tier. Because I think she's a bit too strong now to be A tier, to be better at learning the game. Because her numbers are just a little bit too high, and she'll be getting you out of situations a bit too often. Right. Ezreal. Now Ezreal is definitely going to go at D tier. I think he's an excellent champion to learn. But he's so different from other AD carries, and you can play the laning phase in such a passive way that you can't do with any other AD carry, that you can get pretty high with Ezreal. You can climb pretty high with Ezreal without knowing a lot of vital information about League, basically. You can pretty much surpass the entire laning phase in the majority of games, and you can get away with it. But yeah. AmazingSturdy, what's up, man? Joshua Yaboa, how is Ashe S tier? So one thing you need to remember with this tier list is it's AD carries to play to improve at the game. It's not AD carries to play to climb. That's going to be a different list, and I'm going to do that right after. Ashe is S tier for improving an AD carry because she teaches you about proper positioning, proper auto spacing, and pretty much lack of survivability, which is very important. That is why. But welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, Ezreal, his kit allows you to play in a completely different way, and also can allow you to just not engage in trades pretty much throughout the entire early game, reach your spike, and then play in sort of more of a mid laner way, to be honest, than an AD carry. So yeah. Right, now the champs are getting pretty difficult to actually rank. Varus is going to be S tier. Similar to Ashe. Pretty much similar reasons to Ashe. He could even be seen as one of the best for learning the game. Because he doesn't have that much self-peel, he doesn't have a dash. He has his ult, which is nice. But you learn trades really well with Varus, because there's different ways to trade, and you need to manage your W stacks to trade correctly. So he teaches you about trading, he teaches you about auto spacing, about positioning, and about engaging. And all those things are super important. Super useful, man. Super useful. Okay. Teemo. Teemo's going in F tier. I'm sorry to say. Teemo's going in F tier because I didn't have his icon originally to do this list. Incoming first F tier, you know it, man. You guessed it before I even saw that. But yeah, so yeah, Varus is definitely S tier. He's incredible for teaching people to learn the game. Teaching people to learn the AD carry role specifically. Okay. Misfortune. Misfortune's a difficult one. I think Misfortune's gonna go... Oh, can you hear Bo snoring? Oh my god. My dog Bo. Okay, so I'm actually gonna do two different ones for Misfortune. Where one of them is gonna be here. I'm gonna have to do some sort of thing. Where's a brush? This is pretty scuffed, I apologise. Okay. Bobo, I need you to be quiet, buddy. Alright, anyway. Apologies for how scuffed this looks, but yeah. So, the red is going to be the lethality build for Misfortune, and another colour is going to be the current build for Misfortune, which is very different. Okay. And then her current build, in my opinion, is going to be an A tier. Because the current build is much more about the auto attacks, it's much more about the trades. She also doesn't have dashes, get out of jail free cards or anything like that. Incredibly useful, I think. Incredibly good for getting better at the game. Kirbo, what's up, man? How you doing? Okay. So there's MF. Jinx. Jinx is an interesting one, man. Jinx is an interesting one. I think Jinx has to go B tier for me because she's really good for climbing, but I don't think she's super good for getting better at the game. I think she might even be C tier. I think she's C tier for improving at the game, because especially right now with how strong she is, she, in a similar way to Twitch and Ezreal, can get you into very specific play patterns where it doesn't matter if you get a bit behind in laning phase, it doesn't matter with this and that, and you reach your items and you're not actually using her to her full potential. But yeah, J Diggs, MF on there 2 times, right? MF is on there twice because one of the MF is full lethality Misfortune, and the other one is the current build with Blade of the Ruined King and Press the Attack. I think Misfortune with Press the Attack and Blade of the Ruined King is super good for improving at the game, but the lethality build, it's more of a niche thing. If you want to just play lethality Misfortune bot lane, go ahead. But if you want to improve at the AD carry role, I wouldn't recommend playing lethality Misfortune. What about Janna ADC? That's an F tier from me, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say. But props for trying if you do it. I respect it. D, what's up, bro? Alright. What about Kog'Maw? Kog'Maw's a very interesting one. Kog'Maw. I'll think about Kog'Maw now and I'll decide where he goes. I think he's A or B personally. I think he's A or B, because the fact that he is risky is pretty good. That's pretty good for improving at the game, because you have to know the times where you can trade and know the times where you just have to back up. You have to think of it in the right way, like many of these AD carries on this list. But if you really commit the time to learning him, I think he's pretty good. Oh, that's Janna. That's not the one I'm looking for. This is the one I'm looking for. So he's going to go B tier. Because he does have a few gimmicks that won't translate that well to other champs, but the kiting you learn with him, and the lane survival, really. It's pretty useful. Vayne. Vayne, for improving at the game, is C tier for me. Because her play pattern is just too different from other AD carries. Her play pattern is just too different from other AD carries for it to translate very well. And you have to put in an extremely long amount of time, sorry, for it to be worth it. And yeah, the lack of wave clear is a bit annoying, and rather than, I don't see it as something you have to overcome, I sort of just see it as, it's just an overall hindrance all the time, really. It's not really something that can be used to improve, like, for example, Varus's lack of a dash, and same with Ashe. So yeah, Vayne C tier for me. Yeah, if you guys say champs, I actually don't mind. I'll try and skip to that champ if I haven't done it yet. So yeah, I'm just doing it like that from now. Let's see. But yeah, I'm not going to put Sona on this list. Alright. Sadly, for learning AD carry, she's an F tier. I'm sorry to say. For learning AD carry, she doesn't teach you AD carry, she teaches you one specific thing. It's like the Ezreal thing, or the Twitch problem for learning, but it's like on steroids. It's like this huge problem. It's not good. It will not help you with any of these champions. It might help you improve at the game. But yeah. The title is hard to read. I'll change the title. Let's do it. That better? That's a bit scuffed. There we go. Alright, hope that's better. No, my heart. Dude, I'm telling you, she's ARS tier with Taric on the climbing tier list. But that's a different thing. That's a very different thing. Alright. So, put it right across the top of the stream. I can't do that. But when I had it there, Kate didn't even read it at all. I guess I can put it here. Is this good? Tell me what you think in the chat and I'll do that. Tell me what you think in the chat and I'll do that. Alright. Tristana is next on the list. Tristana's difficult. Tristana's extremely difficult. I think Tristana's actually going to go B. I think Tristana's going to go B tier. Because although she is extremely different from other champs, with some of her play patterns, with the jump resets and stuff like that, I think the skills you learn with Trist are extremely valuable. Extremely valuable. You have to learn, like, in the same way that you learn with you learn with Kai'Sa's ult engage. Pretty much every jump is that same sort of mental battle, you could say. It's every jump you have to know whether it's the right thing to do or not, and learning that will teach you a lot about the game in itself. So I think that's very useful. But yeah, Frederick, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Zaya. Zaya's A or B. Zaya's A tier or B tier, for sure. Let me think. Alright. I'm actually going to put Zaya in A tier. Interesting trading. It's a very different type of thing from why... It's like the opposite reason that Tristana is good, because she's like the expert of peeling back, and you have to learn how to use her ult correctly, and you have to always be thinking about her feather positioning no matter where her feathers are. So it teaches you to think about the game in a different way, right? So yeah. Zaya is A tier for me. Bobo. Buddy. Your snoring is extremely loud. You're awesome though. Can you guys hear the snoring or not? Because the snoring is very loud for me, man. Alright. But I'm alone at the house, so I don't really want to lock him out and upset him. Kalista. Very useful champ to learn for the game, to get better at the game, but not to get better at the AD carry role. Because she's extremely different. You'll see a decent amount of players that play Kalista don't play other stuff. They just play Kalista. Not so loud? Okay. If it's not too bad, then it's not too bad. That's good. Okay. Who haven't I done, actually? Is this everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17. Yeah. Wait. Your opinion doesn't matter? Why? So I helped you to learn the timing of Hourglass as well? Yep. Last hitting with Anivia, that's... The only reason you can't see it is because it's above S tier. Yasuo? I think Yasuo is another F tier, man. I don't think Yasuo... Because Yasuo's not really an AD carry, right? He's a whole different type of thing. So it doesn't really translate to other AD carries. Ah, Jhin. Jhin is the last one I haven't done. Jhin's C tier. He's a very different type of champ from other AD carries, but you do learn some valuable things from him that are useful no matter what. Like, you have to have a certain level of map awareness for your W. You have to have decent movement with his movement speed and stuff like that. If Quinn was on this list, Quinn would be D tier, probably. Because she has exactly the same problem as Twitch, Ezreal, Kalista. She's just so different. You have to play her in such a different way. And if Corki was on the list, he would be C tier or B tier, because he's quite good to learn his trading, but he's not really an AD carry in this current meta. So I can't really put him on the list. Okay. So. Yeah, okay. So I think that's going to be the final tier list for now. I'll save this and I'll post it, or I'll be able to put it in the chat whenever someone asks in the future. Transparency will be lost. It's fine. Alright. Yasuo. Oh, you know what, man? If you want to see Yasuo that badly, then he's gonna go E tier. Because you'll at least learn kiting in some sense if you play him correctly. And all-in timings, which is different from Janna and the Sona. Teemo isn't actually F tier. Teemo would be higher, to be honest, but it's a bit of a meme. So, you know. Last time you did that face, yeah, she slapped the F tier, yeah. No Quinn on Corky put Yasuo on there. You're kind of right. You're kind of right. I'll put Quinn and Corky on there. Okay. Corky would be B tier, and Quinn would be D tier. Okay, there we go. I'm bleeding. No. E tier just because E tier is empty? You know it. Alright. No, don't worry. I'm gonna cut off the F tier in the actual image. Don't worry. I'm not gonna use this actual image. I'm just gonna remember this. I'm gonna have this saved, and I'm gonna try and make a nicer looking image for the actual tier list. And obviously gonna cut out the memes. So yeah. The actual tier list will hopefully look pretty clean. That's the plan, at least. Okay. So. Now let's move on to the climbing tier list. Completely different thing. You must remember. It's purely for climbing and not for improving. Climb elo width. And there we go. Alright, let's start on this one now. You can put pics in Google Sheets. It might be good to use a spreadsheet program for this. That's true. In the future, I'll think about using a spreadsheet thing instead. And then I can also have a link to the Google Forms, which is kind of cool. Which is kind of useful, actually. So yeah, I might do that. Good point, man. Alright. The climbing tier list. The moment you've all been waiting for. Okay, so one thing included in this list is every champ that's on here, I'm going to be bearing in mind that this is after you've played 20 games with them, let's say. Because certain champs you obviously won't be able to climb with immediately. Certain it might only take 5-10 games to get to a decent level, and certain champs it might take 20 or more. So I'm going to put once you've played 20 games, this is going to be the tier list. Or maybe I should just say once you're comfortable with them. How should I really categorize it? I won't categorize it specifically, but I'll say once you are competent with them. But yeah, this is specified for lower elo. This is iron to diamond. I mean, I could also do it for iron to plat. I'll make it. When I say iron to diamond, I mean diamond and below. So yeah, I mean diamond and below. Okay, so every chapter that I talk about, this is counting that you have got to a competent level with the champion. So yeah. And I'll change. I guess I could change to iron to D4. D4. There we go. Okay. So, straight away, anyone who's watched my video will know the S tier pick Jinx, most definitely. So many reasons Jinx is S tier. She's really strong right now. Her itemization is brilliant. She can pop off in team fights. She can take advantage of one enemy's mistake even if the others didn't make a mistake, and they'll still get punished for it. Just excellent overall. Yeah. You feel attacked? Why? She's still in, what was it, B tier for improvement? Something like that? So not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. And we're gonna have... Draven, S tier as well. Once you're competent with Draven, I'm pretty sure he's the best AD carry to climb in solo queue, because he's less reliant on supports to get him through, because he doesn't have to get through. He's already a strong force. Like, of course, he's reliant on his supports to some extent, but in a very different way. He's just incredible for climbing. Once again, similar to Jinx, she can punish one enemy team's mate's mistake, and the rest of the team is still going to have to pay for it, right? Super good. Super good. Jinx is still good on the improvement tier list too. Draven is pretty good on the improvement tier list too. So yeah, really good overall. Let's think. Draven, yeah. Alright. So, this is for this patch, by the way. Reese, how you doing, man? So Misfortune is A tier, most definitely. Can always be a lane bully. You can learn how to play her in one certain way and just repeat it across many, many games, and you will climb with her. You will get some games where she's sort of countered. Yasuo is really good against Misfortune, for example, but you can always ban Misfortune. This patch and next patch, like, pretty much. Because I think I know the stuff that's happening in next patch, and it shouldn't really change this much. It shouldn't really change this much. But yeah. Hey Reese, how you doing, man? Okay, Sivir is also A tier. The problem with Sivir is you do get games where she's not that useful, similar to Misfortune. But still, overall, she's just an incredibly strong pick. But yeah, be right back. Alright, nice man. Okay. If the music's too loud, tell me, by the way. Iron to Gold S, Jinx, Draven, Vayne, Misfortune. A. Tristan, Sivir, Varus, Cog, Caitlyn. That's a pretty interesting list. Let's compare my list to your list at the end, man. Be interesting. Okay. Twitch is going to be A tier as well. Especially in lower relos. Most games you'll be able to get out of laning phase if you have the right amount of patience. You don't go for stupid things. You'll be able to get your items, and then in a lot of games you'll just be able to decimate people mid to late game with your team fighting. Learn a few cheeses, for example, basing at specific times and walking mid lane. All of that stuff is super good for solo queue. So yeah, Twitch is an A tier for climbing in lower elo, below D4. Below D4. Okay. Who else have we got here? Okay. I think that's probably it for A tier. I think everyone else is below. So below that we're gonna have Ashe in B tier. Trist also in B tier. Although she's a bit harder to learn, once you've learnt her, you can take advantage of enemies' mistakes and you can snowball quite hard, and that's obviously just really strong in solo queue. Kog'Maw, very high damage, and people don't abuse it as much as they do in higher elo. So he's definitely B tier for climbing. He has a very high win rate right now, but a low play rate, so it's hard to tell. Let's think. Sanskari Gaming, what's up, bro? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Alright. We're gonna put Zaya in B tier as well. She's very strong recently with the crit items. Her slight problem is that she doesn't have engage, so you do get certain games against like poke teams that don't want to engage into you where she's quite weak. So that's the reason she's B tier instead of A tier. And then in C tier, you definitely got Jhin. You know what? Jhin goes B tier because he has quite good synergy with a lot of supports. People are not very good at dodging his W. People are not good at playing against him overall, so the burst is quite useful. I still would recommend him. I still say he's the bottom of B tier. But yeah, we're making some chart here. So yeah, right now I'm making a tier list for the best ADCs to climb below D4, anywhere below D4. And this is for this patch, next patch. A few tiny things might change, but if they do, then I'll change the tier list accordingly, so it's fine. Right. What about Caitlyn? I think Caitlyn is probably... Caitlyn is C tier or D tier. She's one of the two. One of the two for sure. Joshua Jacobs, how you going, man? B tier is gonna get long. Yeah, there's a lot of champs in B tier. How you doing, buddy? Okay, Oh my god, Kai'Sa is B tier or A tier as well. Kai'Sa is B tier or A tier. I'd say current build, she's A tier. Once you learn a few of the basics and you learn the correct build to go with her, she's really, really strong. She's really, really strong. But yeah, nice to see you, Adam Chan, Joshua Jacobs. Nice to see you guys. Callista, right now, weak champion, not very strong at all. Unless you play with a specific like duo, even then, you're better off playing another type of duo, man. So Callista is going in like D tier or E tier. She's really not very strong right now. Not at all. I'm gonna put her in D tier for now. I'll put Caitlyn in C tier. She doesn't reach D tier because she does have a lot of lane presence, and she does have a crit build with long range, so you still will find use even if you're not playing her to her potential. But I wouldn't recommend you play Caitlyn below Diamond 4, to be honest. To play her to a level where she's as useful as a Jinx or an Ashe or an MF or a Sivir or something like that, you have to know very specific things, and you have to play her in a very specific way, and it takes a lot of games to be able to do that, whereas it'll take less games with another AD carry. So for the climbing tier list, she's a C tier. Ziggs an H tier? I don't know. I don't know what Ziggs would be for climbing right now. I haven't seen him enough games to really comment, to be honest, man. Okay. Let me just check something. I'm just curious what Ziggs' win rate actually is, to be honest. Alright. So. Ezreal is C tier as well right now. He's not quite D tier. Just looking at the statistics, generally, below Diamond, people don't really tend to have that much success with Ezreal, to be honest. For whatever reason. My sound is low. My microphone? I'll try and point it towards me a bit more. Maybe that'll improve it a bit. But yeah, just statistically, people don't tend to do very well with Ezreal on lower elos. He has quite a weak early levels. He doesn't have that much agency in the early game, so I wouldn't really recommend him in lower elos. He definitely has his games sometimes, but it takes some experience to be able to identify when those games are, when you should pick Ezreal. So I wouldn't invest the time into him. And as I put on the improvement tier list, he's very low because he just plays in a completely different way. So yeah. Lucian is probably D tier. He's just extremely weak right now. Unless it's in the hands of someone who knows his combos extremely well and has a lot of experience on him. Wouldn't recommend him at all, man. I just wouldn't. Is that it? Are those all the AD carries? There's Varus too. Varus is another AD carry. Very low win rate in lower reloads. So for climbing, He's C tier. He's C tier. Because once you do learn the basics of him... Oh, what the hell happened there? Jeez. Once you do learn the basics, he does jump up, but he's still not as good for climbing quickly than the others on this list. Vayne. You're right. Good call on the Vayne. Thank you for reminding me. So, as if the B tier needed to be any longer, Vayne goes there too. If you learn the basics with Vayne and you repeat it, you'll still get success in a number of games because there's quite a lot of solo queue comps that Vayne is just quite good into. But yeah, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the stream. So yeah. I believe that's all the AD carries. I can put the weird AD carries in there too, but I don't have that much info as far as how good they actually are in the lower relos. So those are all the AD carries. And I'm not going to put the weird ones in on this list, purely because... Let me just save this. Purely because I just haven't played against them enough to know. And I haven't played them enough to know. So yeah. Sona Taric. Okay. Good call. Okay. This is extremely botched, and I didn't do a very good job of what I was intending to do, but I think it's good enough. So this monstrosity you see before you is Sona Taric. There we go. Okay, so yeah, Sona Taric, it's A tier if you are duoing. If you're not duoing, then I just do not recommend it at all. Don't play it if you're not duoing. The person probably doesn't know how to play it, man. So don't do it. Do it if you're going to duo and you're going to duo a lot of games with it, because you'll win a lot with this strategy. You won't improve at AD carry pretty much at all, but you'll win games and you will improve at the game. You will improve at the game, but not at the AD carry role as a whole. So yeah, that is the best ADCs to climb with Iron to Diamond 4 for this patch and the next patch. There's a small chance Caitlyn jumps up a little bit next patch. I heard she's getting buffed. I don't think it's that big of a buff, because they never really tend to buff Caitlyn a lot. If they do, I'll be screaming in joy. But who knows? Not 100% sure. But yeah, I need to go to the bathroom real quick, boys, so I will be right back. Yeah, see you in a sec. I'm going to leave the tier list up. Alright. Alright, hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? I like it. Oh my god. No games tonight? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to play today or not. I might play. I want to show a few mechanics and practice tool at first. But yeah. What would you buff on Caitlyn? I mean, honestly, I don't know if I'd buff Caitlyn, man. I think she's fine. I think she does what she's supposed to do right now. Yeah, I think she pretty much does what she's supposed to do. In certain matchups, she can stomp lane. You have to play her well for her to be successful, but I think Caitlyn becomes a massive problem when people who don't play her that well can still be successful. So, I think, I don't know, I probably wouldn't buff her, but if I were to buff her, I might... I would buff... something small. I might do like an E cooldown or increase the Q damage to minions by like 10% or something like that. What do you think of Double Cat Bot, a German YouTuber like Rengar Yumi? I think if you're a Rengar Smurf, it's probably fine. But I also think if you're going to play Rengar bot lane, Ivern is the man for you. You got to meet up with that lovely tree fellow. And I think he's going to give you a lot more success than Yumi will. In my opinion. I think Rengar Ivern is the way to go. If you're going to play Rengar bot lane. But yeah, any of you guys who are interested in Kai'Sa, I'm actually gonna... let me just... Okay, I actually want to show you a few things in practice tool for anyone interested in Kai'Sa, because there's a lot of things on Kai'Sa that people do not know, that you really should know. Because it makes her a lot more powerful than she is when you don't know these things. So I'll just show you real quick. Press the attack, boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. Alright. Just a few little mechanics. Okay. So I'm going to put cooldowns and mana. Alright. So, the first thing a lot of you guys probably know is W flash. So, sometimes I see people flash W. What's much better is W flashing. So you go. And it cuts the cast time is the same, but you cancel it with your flash animation, so you actually, how do I say it? Your W comes out quicker. Because you don't have the delay of the flash and then the W. So you press W, then you flash, and the W will come out later. This can be super, super useful. Oh, wow, scene. Good call, man. Where's game capture? Get to the top, buddy. Get there. And then get there. And then there. Okay. Apologies for that one, guys. Here we go. Okay, we're good. So, if you want to flash to either get in range of W or to get around to cast W, don't flash W, or flash W I should say. W flash, so you go, and wherever you initiated the W, that's where it will aim to. So for example, if I do this, it'll go like that. See what I mean? You can even work backwards if you go like that. So this can be super useful in minion waves. So let's say these two are minions and this one is a person, right? So I'm attacking them, and I need the W to kill them, and I can go like that. And then the W will guaranteed hit them, and there's almost no chance that they can dodge. So I'll go boom, W flash. So learn the W flash in practice tool, just get used to it. And there's also, if you ult and then press W right after the ult, the W will come out really fast because it will start casting as you're dashing through the air, right? So I'll show you the difference. So the first one is this. That's Alt W. And the other one is, it comes out about 0.4 to half a second faster, which can make a huge difference to your DPS. Another thing, a lot of people forget this when they ult in, but your Q splits to all the targets close, right? So if I Q now, it damages each of them. So I'll actually wait until, okay, cool. So I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to Q. So, 91 damage to each of them, okay? But then, if you make it go on a single target, it'll do way more. So, I'll go here. And then it goes to 2. If I go here, it just goes to this one, which is 139. So that's about 70% more damage, which is massive. Especially once you have items, that's absolutely huge. So if you're going to go for the kill on this guy, and you're going to ult in, don't do this, an auto, do this, an auto. And then max you'll get is 2 of the enemies, right? So remember that. Okay, another thing that's super useful that pretty much no one does, apart from in like Diamond 1, pretty much, is your ultimate is an auto cancel. So this is especially useful early on. So what a lot of people do is they'll be fighting, they'll ult, and they'll continue, right? But you can actually use it to get out your auto really fast. So check this out. So I'm going to auto, auto, auto. Now I'm going to go boom, boom. Right? 2 autos really fast. So, see that? And you don't need to click the thing again. So I'm just going to click them once, and then I'm just going to time it. My hand is off my mouse. See? So it's very, very useful. So that's huge. So if you're fighting someone, let's say you E in, auto, auto, and you're going to ult, boom, boom. Do it like that. Because then you'll get a lot more DPS than if you did it otherwise. And if you want to, you can always try it in practice tool. Just practice stuff like this, and then practice combining a few of the mechanics together, right? So you can E in, auto, 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 and then W flash, let's say, right? So you can go auto, auto cancel, W flash. I kind of fucked that one up, but let's try it again. Auto cancel, W flash. There we go. So if you can just practice this stuff for like 10-15 minutes before you play, I guarantee you'll come in a lot sharper. And even if you can't execute it in game, in the first few games you play, the more you practice it, eventually you'll 100% get it. So let's say I can't hit the scuttle, I'll do that, and then I can hit him like that, right? So that's the W flash, and I'm going to do the auto cancel a few more times. 2 autos really quickly. And also remember to go to the side where your Q will hit the target the most times. So if I'm going to ult to this guy from over here, I'm not going to ult here and then Q, because then it'll receive half damage. I'm going to ult to here, and then Q. There's a single damage. Sometimes it won't work, but whenever it does, it's super, super useful. Okay. I want to do the same with Caitlyn if you guys are interested. And if you have any other champs, I'll try and tell you the little mechanics that they have that are super useful for using in games, basically. Okay. Mechanics for Jinx. There are not that many with Jinx, actually. I mean, I'll get Jinx right after this. I'll show Caitlyn and then I'll show Jinx. Yeah, auto W. You should always auto W on Jinx rather than just W. If you can auto, of course. Because the auto attack animation coincides with the W animation, so it basically just, you're doing two things at once, and the W comes out a bit faster. Okay, so Caitlyn. Right, the real basics with Caitlyn is EQ auto. So you want to press E and then press Q right after the E and then headshot auto. So you're going to go, right? What you see quite a lot of lower elo players do is they'll do something like this. Or they'll go, right, but in reality what you want to do is EQ. Because your Q animation is quite long. But what Caitlyn can do is she can start her Q animation while she's in her E. So you go, boom, like that. And if you haven't done this before, then just practice it and keep doing it until you do it 10 times in a row correctly. And then you'll get it. Another thing you can do on Caitlyn is you can EW. It's the same principle as the EQ. So you'll go, you're autoing, and then I'll go EW. And then the trap, right? So you can potentially get a double headshot off of that. So you can go auto, auto. So I get 2 headshots off of that instead of 1. It's quite hard, but you can also do... That's one of the highest damage combos. So you'll E, auto, auto, Q, auto. Because your Q does increased damage when the target is trapped. That's what a lot of people forget. So I'll see if I can show you. 121. Okay. Oh wait, it doesn't do increased damage on targets like this, but if there's a minion in front of it, then it will. I don't know if this counts as a minion, but you have to take my word for it. Okay, wait. I'm going to do it non-trapped first. So that's 73 damage, and I'm going to trap it. 121. So you see, it does full damage if they're trapped. So the max damage combo, if you have to E, is E, auto, auto, Q, headshot. So it's E, boom, Q, and then auto with the headshot. So yeah. Another thing you can do on Caitlyn, let's say it's one of the game deciding team fights, right? This is the enemy AD carry. You have a Lux here. She hits a Q, but you're all the way here. You're all the way here, and you want to trap. What you see some players do is they'll walk forward, they'll flash, and then they'll trap. And a lot of the time people miss those, because you have to place your mouse here, and then you have to get there in the right time. What you can do is, you can press W, and then flash, and she'll instantly trap. That's super useful, and I wish I knew that more quickly. So you can go W, boom, instant trap. And then you won't miss it, because you've pressed it beforehand. So don't do this, flash, trap. Do this. Boom. Instant trap. Super useful. Some flashy things on Caitlyn you can do that you don't get that much use out of is you can E-flash. So you can go, if you want. You can also do it like this to get over walls. That's quite difficult. It takes quite a lot of practice. Like as you can see, I even got it wrong once there. You have to do it very instant, but it's possible. You can also R-flash, which is quite interesting. So let's say there's some enemies coming after you here or here, right? And you're going to die to something from behind you or something like a melee champ like Udyr. And you want to kill this guy with your ult. Instead of just standing here and you're dead, you can do R-flash and you'll continue your ult. I've probably used this once ever, right? It's not like the most useful thing in the world. You can technically use it to reposition so something doesn't block you, like, but not really, because people can still block it. But sometimes it's useful, very rarely. Yeah. So just to recap, EQ auto is the basic. Boom. EW is another one. So EW. Trap. And you can also EW, Q, auto. And that's the highest damage combo you can do if you're going to use your E. You can E flash, and you can R flash. And if you need to flash and trap someone, press W first and then flash, like this. Don't flash and then W like this, because you might miss it. And it takes longer. So yeah. I'll show you Jinx now. I'm sure there are actually some weird ones with Jinx, but I haven't played Jinx nearly as much, so I don't actually know real specifics with Jinx. But I'll try and show you what I can, man. There she is. Okay. There's something with her ult and E, but I don't. Yeah, me too. I don't know. I don't know the weird ones with her ult and her E. I think on Jinx, when you R flash, the R goes from the place that you originally stood at. So let me show you. So it's like this. Wait, I don't have my flash yet, actually. Okay, here we go. See, so it still fires from there. It's sometimes useful, but not super often, because you can't like reposition with it. But if there's a melee enemy on you and you're kiting them, you can do that always, or something like that. And what Kate means about the W is that instead of just autoing W like that, you should do it like this. Auto W. Auto W. And get used to that. I'm trying to figure out this last one. I think there's a mild cancel with her E and her R there, but I'm not sure. The E can do weird things if you place them like against walls in certain ways. Like you can do stuff like that. It's not that useful. I think you can get the E like over this wall, which is pretty weird, but it's not useful in that many circumstances. Like they have to really do something weird for that to hit, you know? But yeah. Yeah, W flash doesn't work on Jinx. Yeah, you never really want a W flash ever because it still casts from the original spot. So yeah, the main things you want to know with Jinx is just auto W to cancel the animation. You can R flash. I've used this a few times and it can be useful. And remember that when you have the attack speed from your minigun, the first attack with your rockets carries over the attack speed. And then it goes down again. You see that? So look at the pause between my minigun and then my rocket, and it'll be short. And then look at between the rocket and the next rocket auto attack, alright? Alright, so I'm going to get to my 4 stacks, and I'm going to... And then it's slow again. So a lot of the time people will be farming the minion wave, they'll rocket the enemy, and then they'll try and continue the trade with rocket, and realize, oh, my attack speed is actually so slow. Most of the time with Jinx, you just get that one rocket auto, and then you back off. So you go rocket, auto, back off, and then back to minigun, 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 auto, and then back off again, right? Okay. So yeah. Oh, one more thing. I'm just going to learn to practice till one more time to show you guys one last thingy-mabob. BRB, alright? Alright, so one last thing, boys. It's very useful to learn this. I'm just picking a random champion. Ezreal actually has a lot of mechanics, but I might just go over it super briefly because I don't think anyone is that interested in Ezreal here. I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay. Okay, so the bot lane ward. Now this, I didn't mean to spawn an enemy dummy actually. Okay, so this can be useful if you're on this side of the map and you're getting pushed in and you want to know if you're getting ganked, or it can be useful if you're pushing up and you can't afford to walk down here. So the way you get this ward is, you see this rock here. There's the tree and then there's the little nook here. I don't know what the right word for it is, but it's like a little. It goes in, basically. And you click right in there, get your champ right in there. There we are. There's a spot. And then on this rock, you click this top bit here. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, I can't get this wrong again. There we are. So you click this bit here. Boom. Or a bit above it even. Wherever. Jesus. Okay. So in that little crevice. Boom. 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 Right, so just get used to that. It's a super useful ward if you're on this side of the map or if you're on that side of the map. It doesn't give as good vision as this ward, so if you can place this ward, always place it. But if you just need to know if there's someone in the bush or not, it's still a pretty good ward. Final mechanics with Ezreal. Don't never do this. If you're gonna flash to Q someone, press Q first, and the Q will come out later like that. Same with the W. Don't flash W auto. You can do like that. The R flash is the same as Jinx, where it casts from the original location, like that. And you can also E flash. So if you're gonna do this, don't do that. Press E first and then flash. And then the E damage will still come out right at the end. And you can do some interesting stuff like that. It's pretty hard, but it can work if you know it. And then you're gone before people even know it. That was the wrong way to do it. There we go. Pretty hard, but pretty useful too. I use E flash all the time on Ezreal. It's actually super useful. And I use Q flash all the time too. All the time. So someone's escaping. I can E flash on them like that, cancel my E animation, or I can Q flash on them and it's almost impossible to dodge the Q. So yeah, get used to those mechanics, dudes. And if you main a champ, and I haven't mentioned the mechanics on it, I might not know every AD carry, but find a video that shows it and just learn them in Practice Tool. It's super useful that we have Practice Tool available now. It didn't used to be a thing, and we should really use it to get better at the game because it's really is super useful. Okay. Let's go back to our normal scene. There we go. Sivir auto instant W. Yep, Sivir W is an instant auto reset. So yeah, if you guys have any champions that you want to know those sort of mechanics on, just ask me, and I'll try and tell you. And if I have time, I'll try and go into the Practice Tool too. Yeah. And before I finish the stream, I know it's a very short stream today. I have some stuff on in real life, so I can't do a very long one. But if there's anyone in the chat, especially if you're on EU West, who'd be interested in an ADC coaching session in the next week or two, where I'll watch one of your replays. I might have you in a Skype call with me or a Discord voice call with me, and I'll discuss it while I'm screen sharing, and I'll obviously be streaming. If anyone is interested in that in the chat right now, please tell me. Tell me your ID and I'll add you, and we'll discuss it. So yeah. If any of you guys are interested in that, please tell me. Some of you guys are already friends with me on this account. You can add this account and let me know if you prefer to say in the chat, whatever it is. If you prefer not to do it on stream, that's also fine. Whatever it is. Frederick Wolf, sure, nice man. Oh yeah, an important thing. If it's an ADC coaching session, I would prefer if you're plat 4 or below, because I think I'll be able to be the most use to people. But yeah. if you will have time to try and put in the stuff that I'm telling you to improve, if you think it will be useful to you, then do it. If you know that you won't be able to play or you'll barely be playing any games, and you won't really put it to use, then it's fine. Then don't worry about it. But yeah, if you think it's going to be useful, then I'd love to do a coaching session on stream with one of you guys. But yeah, if you're interested, just add me. The account name is BUOY Simba. And then we'll discuss it, and on one of the future streams I'll do a bit of a coaching stream. So yeah. So yeah, Frederick Wolf, maybe we'll do one, man. Maybe we shall do one. There's a Facebook notification. Don't think I had Facebook open. Alright. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this different sort of stream today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I will probably be back with the Unranked to Masters stream tomorrow, playing 3 to 5 games, and just doing some discussions. Could show some mechanics again, anything like that. I'll be doing that tomorrow, so be sure to tune in then if you can. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. Which error message? Your league files are corrupt. No, I don't think I've had that error message before. But yeah, try and repair the client if you can, man. Yep, do pretty much what Kate said. That's all you can do. Okay. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much for watching, all the likes and support of the stream. It really does mean a lot to me, my friends. Hope you guys have a good day. I'm out. Peace.